Genesis 1, the beginning of all things. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and desolate, and darkness covered the surface of the deep waters. And the Spirit of God was moving over the surface of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. There was evening, and there was morning, a first day. Then God said, "Let there be an expanse between the waters, to separate the waters from the waters." So God made the expanse and separated the waters beneath from the waters above. And it came to be just so. God called the expanse heaven. There was evening and there was morning, a second day. Then God said, "Let the waters under the heavens be collected together into one place, and let dry land appear." And it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the earth sprout vegetation, seed-bearing plants and fruit trees, each according to its kind, bearing fruit with seed in it upon the earth." And it was so. The earth produced vegetation, plants yielding seed according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it, each according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. There was evening and there was morning, a third day. Then God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens, to separate the day from the night. They will serve as signs for seasons, days, and years, and they will serve as lights in the heavens to shine upon the earth." And so it came to be. God made the two great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. And he also made the stars. God placed them in the expanse of the heavens to give light to the earth, to rule over the day and the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. There was evening and there was morning, a fourth day. Then God said, "Let the waters swarm with living creatures, and let flying creatures soar above the earth across the expanse of the heavens." So God created the great sea, creatures and every living thing that moves and swarms in the waters, according to their kinds, and every winged flying creature according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and become many, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the flying creatures multiply in the earth." There was evening and there was morning, a fifth day. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures, according to their kinds, domestic animals, creeping things, and wild animals of the earth according to their kinds." Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures, according to their kinds, domestic animals, creeping things, and wild animals of the earth according to their kinds." And it was so. God made the wild animals of the earth according to their kinds, the domestic animals according to their kinds, and all the creeping creatures of the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, the flying creatures of the heavens, the domestic animals, all the earth, and every creeping thing that moves upon it." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. Then God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, the flying creatures of the heavens, and every living thing that moves on the earth." Then God said, "Here, I have given you every seed-bearing plant on the surface of the entire earth, and every tree with seed-bearing fruit. These will serve as food for you. And to every wild animal of the earth, to every flying creature of the heavens, and to everything that moves on the ground, in which there is life, I've given every green plant for food." And it was so. And God saw all that he had made, and look, it was very good. There was evening and there was morning, a sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth and everything in them were completed. Genesis chapter 2, the completion of creation. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. And on the seventh day, God finished the work that he had been doing, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work that he had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it sacred, because on it he has been resting from all his work that he had created and made. This is the history of the heavens and the earth when they were created. In the day that Jehovah God made earth and heaven, no bush of the field had yet appeared on the earth, and no vegetation of the field had begun to sprout, because Jehovah God had not yet made it rain on the earth, and there was no man to cultivate the ground. But a mist would rise from the earth and water the entire surface of the ground. Then Jehovah God formed the man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. And Jehovah God planted a garden in Eden toward the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. Jehovah God made to grow out of the ground every tree that was pleasing to look at and good for food, and also the tree of life in the middle of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and bad. A river was flowing out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it divided and became 4 rivers. The first is the Pishon. It flows around the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of that land is good. There are also bdellium gum and onyx stone. The second river is the Gihon. It flows around the entire land of Cush. The third river is the Tigris. It runs east of Assyria. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. Jehovah God took the man and settled him in the Garden of Eden to cultivate it and take care of it. Jehovah God also gave this command to the man: "You may eat from every tree of the garden to satisfaction, but as for the tree of the knowledge of good and bad, you must not eat from it, for in the day you eat from it, you will certainly die." Then Jehovah God said, "It is not good for the man to continue alone. I will make a helper for him, as a complement of him." Now Jehovah God had been forming from the ground every wild animal of the field and every flying creature of the heavens. And he brought them to the man to see what he would call each one. And whatever the man called each living creature, that became its name. So the man named all the domestic animals, the flying creatures of the heavens, and every wild animal of the field. But for man, there was no helper as a complement of him. So Jehovah God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep, and while he was sleeping, he took one of his ribs and then closed up the flesh over its place. And Jehovah God built the rib that he had taken from the man into a woman, and he brought her to the man. Then the man said, "This is at last bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This one will be called woman, because from man she was taken." That is why a man will leave his father and his mother, and he will stick to his wife, and they will become one flesh. And both of them continued to be naked, the man and his wife, yet they felt no shame.